Hey, how's it going? Otaku Mike here. Let's talk about Titans issue number 28. Why? Because it's a DC K.O. tie-in, that's why. Warning, there will be spoilers and we might have to evacuate Earth, just saying. Our story starts out with Cyborg actually talking to everybody across the world on the giant jumbotrons. He gets the short straw and breaks the bad news at this point, where he tells everybody they have to evacuate Earth because Darkseid is coming and he is been foretold to destroy Earth, and we don't know if we are going to actually win this fight. So their plan is to get everybody on rocket ships and shoot them up in the outer space. But we need to do this in a neat, orderly fashion and put our differences aside as the human race and, just get with the program and get on this damn rocket ship. And we actually see most of the Titans getting together in Bloodhaven at Titan Tower, where we see them talking about the evacuation process and will this be the last time they actually end up seeing each other? And we get this really nice heartfelt goodbye as the Titans leave to try to help with the evacuation processes around the world. We also find out that they're using all the different Titan towers as rocket ships. So that's pretty cool. We end up actually seeing Raven go over to, I believe it's called Mercy Hall, where Bumblebee is working, a former Titan, and they're talking about the evacuation process and how they can help move things along faster with the different Zeta beams, the Brainiac shrinking technology, stuff like that. Bumblebee really wishes she could help, but she is a retired superhero because she has had a child recently. And she starts to wonder and talks to Raven, how are they going to deal with all the different supervillains and what's their plan with that? Because we end up actually finding out that in Mercy Hall, they actually have Terra, yes, the Terra, who betrayed the Titans way back in the Judas contract. She apparently is back, and she is in recovery at this point because apparently Deathstroke backstabbed her and left her for dead or something. Raven actually starts talking to Terra telepathically and says, I know you're faking it, Terra. You're pretending to be asleep at this point. And Terra wakes up in this weird mind dimension place and starts saying, oh, what's this stuff I keep hearing about evacuating the planet? What's going on? How's Gar? And we see Raven go, I know Gar believes you can be rehabilitated, but I don't think you actually can be rehabilitated. And we get this weird conversation, which is kind of is insinuating there might be a love triangle between Gar, Raven, and Terra. And Terra seems to be trying to mess with Raven's mind at this point. We actually get the overall scope of what actually happens with the evacuation process, where we start to see rumblings or protests, one might say, that some people on Earth don't actually want to leave Earth, and they're like, go away, metahumans, we don't want you superheroes to be here, we don't want to leave Earth, which kind of puts a wrinkle in the whole evacuation thing and slows things down at this point. But a lot of the heroes are dealing with that and trying to do it in a way where they don't actually have to hurt people, which leads to Beast Boy actually showing up at one point with these rioters and get some help from Beast Girl, where she uses her powers to put everybody to sleep. So as this is all going on with the evacuation process, we see Starfire leading the evacuation charge with the Titan Tower rockets. We get the big reveal that Granny Goodness and her Furies are about to attack Earth. All right, so let's take a look at the internal artwork for this book that we got going on here. Let me show you guys the creative team at this point. Where are they? There's your creative team right there. Give them all the love and respect they deserve. Artwork for this book, it's decent. I didn't hate it. It very much does the job that it needs to do. It didn't really 100% blow me away, but I actually did quite enjoy it on some of these pages, seeing all the different details and stuff they had in the background and stuff, and just the different things you saw with the evacuation process and just the scale and scope it had, which this is one scene I actually really did like, was the scene of them all coming together and, just saying their goodbyes. It was a very sad little touching scene, and just not much happens in this action-wise, actually at all. It is really just talking heads, to be exact. But yeah, you get all the different Titans in this. If you like Titans, you're probably gonna be love this. You're probably already reading this, to be honest. But yeah, the artwork's decent. So, what exactly did I think of Titans issue number 28? Well, it was an okay read. I really don't feel like this is a mandatory book to read as a tie in for the DCKO event as a whole. Yes, they do touch on the evacuation process, which was actually a really cool thing to see and read and how they went about doing that. But it really honestly feels like fluff and filler, and like the Titans were just shoehorned in to this event overall. Now, I am not a Titans reader, like an ongoing Titans reader, so things didn't really work for me in this book. Like they were referencing stuff from past issues with Terra and stuff, and I was like, I don't really care about that. Like that's not something I'm into. I want to see what is going on with DCKO. So they are really like leaving breadcrumbs here and there from previous events in this series, but it just doesn't gel right, in my opinion, as a reader. But that's as a reader, as somebody who doesn't read Titans. That might differ if you are reading Titans. But things I did like about this was I like the fact that we actually showed the Titans, being like a family and really caring about each other. And like there was this one point in it where they had this really heartfelt like goodbye between all of them, and you could just feel it on the page, like they don't know if they're going to see each other again. Like I thought that part was a really really strong part in the story. And then the big reveal that Granny Goodness is going to go after them and go after the Titan Tower rockets and stuff like that, I thought was a pretty fun little twist to add to this book. But I will say, read at your own discretion if you're going to pick up this book just because it's a DCKO tie-in. It might not be worth it. It might not be worth your money. But I would love to hear your thoughts down below. I will talk to you, Mike. Peace out. Stay safe. I'll go read some comic books.